Jump.
Hey kids, Aussie Moto Mad, coming at you from just outside the Gold Coast on my way to work. I'm lucky, another day, another Monday, and this is the second line of traffic I've been, or roadworks I've been stuck in. I don't know what they're doing this time. Last time they were moving a truck. Who knows what it's going to be this time, as I'm stuck behind apparently the 7 Seas. I have to wonder if that's... No, we won't go there. So, just a quickie today, in and around motorcycle maintenance. That's what I was going to talk about, motorcycle maintenance. They don't actually fucking do anything, they're just standing there. Yep, definitely takes 5 of us to look at the road. You talk about motorcycle maintenance, and specifically following the maintenance schedule of your bike. Now, I'm the first to admit that, except for a couple of brand new cars that I've bought recently, I'd say I ignored. But there were certain things that I really used to sit there and go, well, do you really need to do that? Is that absolutely necessary? And one of them, weirdly enough, was in and around brake fluid. Now, I've always had this opinion, and it's brake fluid. People say, oh yeah, you know, whenever you change the brake pads, you've got to completely flush out your brake fluid and blah blah blah. Now, I'm not saying that maintenance of your brake lines, things like, I mean, if you're replacing brake pads, for sure go out, re-bleed your brakes, make sure everything's fine, and you know, do a good job of it. But actually going out and flushing your brake lines and replacing brake fluid every time you change brake pads just seemed a bit overkill to me. Now, this little subject has come about. My Trumpy was having a weird issue. So it's a 2012 Street Triple R. When I bought it, it had 2,000 Ks on it. It had barely been ridden. It was owned by an ex-mine worker who was on a fly-in fly-out roster. So I'd say he bought the bike, spent lots of money on it, like put the Arrows exhaust on it, put the nice sergeant seat on it, all that kind of stuff, and then never rode it, which is more common than you think. I know a couple of people that have spent lots of money on expensive bikes and then not ridden them while they've been doing fly-in fly-out work. Anyway, so nothing had been done to the bike. The bike it hadn't had a logbook service done on it. The logbooks were literally brand new, except for the initial stamp in it to say it had done its 800 or 1500 kilometre checkup. Other than that, the bike had never been touched. So I've been servicing the bike every 5,000 Ks without fail, and that's servicing, so, you know, changing the oil filter, and of course, you know, doing chain maintenance every 500 Ks, and all the normal stuff that you're supposed to do. Now, it developed a weird issue where if you came up to a set of traffic lights, or two weird issues. If you came up to a set of traffic lights and you stopped, if you went to just sort of push the bike forward a bit, it felt like the brakes were still on. It was really weird, but you know, if you pushed it forward and back a couple of times, it sometimes came off, and other times it stayed on, or it felt like it stayed on. So that was one problem. And the other problem was, if you had to what I would class as almost emergency braking, so really heavy braking, it would shut up fairly badly. Now, I'd heard this issue, a couple of people, old man Triple reported the same issue on his bike, but he reported it under really light braking. So I'd heard of the issue before, like I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's a Triumph thing. Should I take it back to the dealership and have them have a look at it and spend lots of money on it? And thought about it and I went, shit, it's 3 years old and it's never had any of the brake fluids done in it, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, well, you know, because normally you do they say you do the brake fluid when you do the brake pads, and the bike had 2,000 k's on it, it's never had any brake pads on it. So anyway, so I go out and I decided I went down and bought some nice motor oil and not brake fluid, sorry, and we re-bled the blade, flushed the brakes and re-bled them and fixed them all up. Now, the colour of the oil that came out of the reservoir and out of the brake lines, for lack of a better word, considering it's almost the new stuff is like a clear yellow sort of colour, you would say it was brown, and you didn't realise it until you actually took the cap off and looked at it. It was absolutely disgusting. And lo and behold, what's happened? No more shudder in the brakes. I can brake as heavy as I want and it doesn't shudder. It doesn't feel like the brakes are tensioning up anymore. In fact, the whole bike rides differently than what it did before I did this little bit of maintenance. I'm absolutely amazed at how much differently it rides, and how much more powerful my brakes are. You know, it had good brakes before. The first time I pulled the brakes on after I did the maintenance, I almost went over the handlebars. It brakes so hard. So I'm back to a maximum of 2-finger braking and maybe 3-finger if you're really wanting to pull it up and need a bit more control, but the bike completely different. So I guess the moral of the story is follow your maintenance schedule, especially when it comes to your motorbike. There'll be more to come on this subject, but I don't want to make this vlog too long. So if you're riding, guys, keep it upright, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.